Hi, I'm Paige Smith. Welcome to Quick Shot here on Nazca Network Sports. I'm delighted today to welcome the legendary Walt Clyde Frazier to the program. Walt, welcome to Quick Shot on Nazca Network Sports.
Yeah, thanks for having me. You guys can really relate to me. We're in a similar boat this year.
Tell me about it. You know, I grew up during the days of Julius Erving and the Philadelphia 76ers. Such a proud organization. We're still proud of the team, but we're looking forward to those championship-winning ways returning.
Oh, yeah.
So, Walt, you're a legendary Hall of Fame point guard with 13 seasons in the NBA. From 1967 to 1977, you played with the New York Knicks. And from 1977 to 1980, you played with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Tell us about your days playing in the NBA and your current role with the New York Knicks organization.
Man, my 13-year career in the NBA was something I dreamt about as a kid. I'm the oldest of 9 kids. So
Okay.
I can remember growing up, man, my mother was always talking about how she wanted a house with a big kitchen. So I also played football and baseball. So I used to pray at night, God, please let me, be a football, basketball, baseball player to help my mom. So that was the catalyst for me, man, in being an athlete. And finally, in 1973, I was able to do that for her, bought her a house with a big kitchen. She was happy, I was happy. But my career exceeded my expectations because I didn't know what to expect. I just wanted to get there and try to help my family situation. But coming to New York City, the greatest city in the world, and then being on 2 championship teams here, playing with so many Hall of Famers, Bill Bradley, David Busher, Earl the Pearl, Willis Reed, Jerry Lucas, just a storybook career for me, man. And it really shaped my character as well. Dick Barnett gave me the first fashion image. He was a sharp dresser. I used to go where he made his suits, his shoes, got his shirts. So that had a big impact on me. Willis Reed, the professionalism that he brought to the game, on the court, off the court. Fortunate enough to play for a sensational coach in Red Holtzman, a guy who was hard but fair, stressed defense, teamwork, character, and that was personified, that Knick team that I played on. That's who we were. That's how we played the game, and I think that's still why we're idolized so much in New York by all the fans.
Yes, those were some legendary players that you played with, as well as having a legendary coach. Now, I got to ask you, Walt, tell me, where did the name Clyde come from?
The Clyde came from the movie Bonnie and Clyde. I bought the wide brim hat. Actually, I brought that hat in Baltimore. What happened when I was a rookie, I wasn't playing good. So to pacify myself, I always went shopping. So I go buy clothes, go to my room, dress up, and look in the mirror and say, well, I'm not playing good, but I still look good. So I bought that hat. And as fate would have it, the movie Bonnie and Clyde came out 2 weeks later. So I go in the locker room, everybody go, hey, look at Clyde. So that became synonymous with my fashion image, my endorsements. Everything was related to the Clyde persona, the coolness that Clyde brought to the game and his style.
Yeah, I hear you. I tell you, I don't know if the young guys today have an appreciation for the fashion, but myself growing up in the 60s and 70s, I remember the hats, the suits, and the style of the NBA players from that era. It's something that I don't know if the players today appreciate where that sense of style originated from.
Yeah, some of the guys, today, I think Wade is a cool dresser, even Melo, LeBron. But I think Westbrook is a guy more symbolic with Clyde. He's not afraid to veer from the path and leave his own footprint. So he's kind of daring in his style, the way he dresses. So, it's going to be a good weekend this weekend to see what the guys are wearing. They're going to be competing to see who can outdress the other guy.
Well, I tell you, we're looking forward to it. Now, how would you compare the players in today's game back to the point in time and the time period when you played? You mentioned some big names, some superstar names from your era. How would they stack up and how would they compare against the players that are playing in the NBA today?
There's no comparison, man, when I played and today's players. you know, the size of these players are mesmerizing. I've been fortunate enough to do the Knicks games for 25 years as a color analyst. And I watch these guys. I've watched Jordan. I've watched LeBron, Dominique Wilkins. These guys are doing it 6'8", 6'9", what we did at 6'4", 6'5". The way they can run and jump, the way they – look at Curry and Thompson, man, the way these guys shoot the three ball. Reggie Miller, the way he used to shoot that thing. The way they all can jump and dunk the ball, the creativity that they bring to the game. So they've taken the game to another level for sure.
Now, Walt, competitively and comparatively speaking, you've seen some of the challenges that the NFL has had this year, both on the field and off the field. How is the NBA working with its players as well as the player representatives to ensure that your players don't repeat some of the mistakes that we've seen play out in the media with the young men that are playing today in the NBA?
Well, today you see why teams are more involved with the character of the players that they draft. Because of the things that are going on now in the NFL and the NBA off the court. So they really scrutinize the character of the guys, trying to get guys to be more positive role models, give back to the community, to be involved and not take for granted the opportunity that they have. So I think it's working. The NBA guys are doing a good job. They are very iconic, but a lot of them have their own foundations where they give back to kids. A lot of what people overlook, a lot of the players are parents. You know, we're concerned about drug abuse, child abuse, teenage pregnancies, the appalling dropout rate. So a lot of times, you know, like I have a son, he used to idolize Earl the Pearl. You know, he wanted to be like the Pearl. So sometimes someone else talking to your kids can have an impact on them rather than you doing it. So the players are very cognizant of that, and I think they give up their time very freely and realizing that they're very fortunate to be in the position that they're in, so they're willing to give back and be positive role models for our youth.
All right, so the East and West starters have been announced. And being from Philadelphia, I have to tell you, even though Kobe was named as a starter, it's unfortunate that due to his injury, we're not going to get an opportunity to see him compete in this year's game. But in your opinion, who do you like? The East team or the West team? And who's your favorite? Who do you think is going to win the MVP?
Well, I'm loyal. You know, I always played in the Eastern Conference, so I'm hoping the East can prevail. The MVP is going to be very difficult because you just don't know what guys are going to be elevated, motivated to do it. But normally, it's the backcourt guy because the backcourt guys, like last year, Tyree Irving was the MVP. I won it in '75. I think John Wall a few years ago. I remember Hal Greer winning it, Oscar Robertson. So rarely did Chamberlain or Russell win the MVP because the guards have the ball. They're the orchestrators. They're the penetrators. They're guys that are creating. So normally I would say it's going to be someone in the backcourt that comes away with the MVP.
Well, just a few more questions for you. Again, I know our time with you today is short, and we certainly thank you for joining us today. We've got the Sprite Slam Dunk Contest and the Foot Locker three-point shootout tonight. Interestingly enough, both occurring on Valentine's Day. I know there's going to be some young ladies who are disappointed tonight because the ballers I know, they're going to be watching the events unfold on TNT tonight. But my question is, who do you think is the favorite for the slam dunk competition as well as for the three-point competition tonight?
Well, slam dunk, I like Antetokounmpo from the Milwaukee Bucks. We also have Oladipo. He's the shortest guy, 6'4", but he has a tremendous leaping ability. Zach LaVine is only 19 years of age. He's the youngest guy. And also they have Mason Plumlee, a 7-footer. So these are the four contestants, but I think Giannis Antetokounmpo, because he's very flamboyant in his style, the way he dunks the ball, the ferocity. So as a judge in the Sprite Slam Dunk Contest, I'm looking for creativity, style, huffing and stuffing, slamming and jamming, all the things that you have to be creative with in the Slam Dunk Contest to come away a winner.
Well, folks, that's all the time we have today with the legendary Walt Clyde Frazier, Hall of Fame point guard from the New York Knicks and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Walt, on behalf of the entire team here at Quick Shot and Nazca Network Sports, I want to thank you again for joining us on the program today. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
All right, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
On behalf of the entire team here at Quick Shot and Nazca Network Sports, and on behalf of our great host, Jose Rodriguez, thank you again for joining us. That's it for today. See you next time.